Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Welcome to another edition of not the Rico Report, but it's Theology Wednesdays. Theology 101 with my guy, you know who, the thigh doctor himself, where we run through the injuries of the week. What took place the game before, anybody gets stepped on in practice, and things we should look forward to the upcoming game, because you know this week is going to be a big one. We're facing the New England Patriots. Will we have everyone healthy for this game? Something tells me the thigh doctor is going to not share some great news, or maybe there are guys that are trending in the right direction. We can't wait. Let's get right into it. Welcome to another edition. If you guys are just tuning in right now, do me a favor, smash that like, not for me, smash that like for the thigh doc, which is going to give us a heads up on what to expect with some upcoming players, right? And I'll have to say, my man's been spot on with a few times. He's been calling some things out. Spencer Brown was certainly one of them. They said, they might give that brother the week off. So just pay attention to that, because the calf, the back, all ties in together. And lo and behold, what took place, we had Ryan Vandenberg be the guy that started the football game. So we love to see it. So you guys already know what time it is. So I got to get my intro ready and get my guy into the mix. So without further ado, I'm going to get my guy ready, and we will see him in just a moment.
Hey, what's up?
Listen, I was about to actually call you. I was about to call you off for a quick second, because I was like, yo, you can't have me bopping and going through your music and you just sit there and just wait for it. Because the last couple times you just sat there and waited for it. No, you got to bop with me if we're going to be doing this thing. But I caught you moving a little bit. So, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Theology with my guy, the thigh doc himself. Yo, that shirt is clean.
Yeah.
I like it. Me likes. I'm a big fan. Did you get that at the Bill shop or what?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, watch out, Papa Peck. We got a Papa Peck number 2.
That? I think I'm just nervous.
I love it.
Yeah. So I don't do jerseys anymore, but my kid wanted one, so I got him the jersey, and I was like, I got to get something. And this shirt was so funny. So,
what do you mean you don't jersey anymore? Are you anti-jersey?
I am anti-jersey now.
So the only time you better than the jersey wearers?
Once I got older than the players, I don't do jerseys anymore. I will do them in one instance, is when it's like cold weather game. I got the big puffer jacket on. I'll throw a jersey over it. But no.
Who do you think you are? Because you got older than the players, now you can't represent the player that you like most.
I'm very pretentious about jerseys. Yes, but I do like custom T-shirts, original ones you don't see often. So that's like more my style now. I'm not knocking you if you wear a jersey. I'm not like, oh, look at that guy, he's got a jersey on, unless it's a Chinese jersey. And then
I'm with you. I'm anti-jersey. I'm anti. Some people are like, when I go to Bills games, I'm not gonna wear a jersey. I gotta wear whatever the heck I want. Maybe I'll have a Bills hat, but I don't gotta wear a jersey. I gotta be all decked out. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny. You're anti-jersey, but you're ridiculous Zuba pants. How dare you?
Yeah, and tearaway pants.
Tearaway pants on top of that.
Everyone's got their own style. I mean, it's just.
I tell you, you are absolutely one of a kind. All right, let's get right into the goodness of the injury report. So first and foremost, welcome back to my guy, my thigh doc, and we're about to jump into injury issues and who to touch on. So right now, as of today, this is what the Bills injury. Let me move that big old thing out the way, because that seems to be in the way for now. By the way, by that, if you see that QR code, go ahead and click that QR code. Allows you to become a YouTube Buffalo Fanatics member. So go ahead and click that. I'll leave that up and I'll bring it back up in just a little bit. But here we have it, the Buffalo Bills injury report. And here's what we're looking at. We got Spencer Brown. We got Jackson Hawes. That is a new name on the list. Matt Milano, he's been on there. Ed Oliver's been on there. And then Dorian Williams seems to have gone through a bump. So what McDermott called it. Oh, he was just a little bump. So anything other than that, it was nothing. Well, I call cap. Anyway, but let's get into it right off the rip. Let's talk about my guy, Spencer Brown. You called it last week. You mentioned something to the nature of, hey, man, you might not see this guy play. That might give him the week off. What did you see in that crystal ball that allowed you to just go with that, and it ended up being correct?
Yeah, so he finished the game the week before, and then he said that he had felt something weird in his calf, and he was able to play through it. So I still don't think he had a true calf strain, only because once you pull a calf, like you're not just like fighting through it. You pull a muscle, you're out. It's going to hurt. But why I knew he was going to be out is because they had 6 days rest because it was a Thursday game and he was still a DNP on Wednesday. So that was like a red flag. Now, if they had played Sunday, it was only like 3 days later. I could understand they wanted to give him a rest day, but it looked like they were just hell bent on giving them the week off. Now, if you want to get deep on the Spencer Brown thing, I know we talked about it last week. He had a back surgery a couple years ago. He had a back injury in training camp, held him out for a couple weeks. Then he had cramps week 1. No one specified if it was like back cramps or calf cramps. Usually cramps are in the calf, though, and you would call back a back spasm. However, the problem is with back injuries, sometimes it can give you sciatica. So basically the nerve gets pinched a little bit and it gives you like this staticky and muscle spasms down the leg. And the calf is like the most dominant of that. So I was thinking maybe, and this isn't proven, that he has something going on with his back. He's been fighting through it and it's giving him trouble into his calf. And they said, hey, look, we had a Thursday game. We're going to get this guy week and a half, 2.5 weeks off if we rest him for the Saints game, which they kind of treated like a bye week a little bit with the injuries. And that's what I think is going on. But he's back on the practice field, limited, but he's in pads and they showed him doing pass sets and he's pushing off his leg. So I don't see how they're not going to play him. I mean, if you have a calf, it's not like, how should I put this? If you have a true calf strain, you're not going out to practice and like doing pass set drills and pushing off it if you're not going to play. I mean, you might see him on the sideline doing like the ladder drills and stuff. They're going to ease him in, put him in, but he's in practice. He's ready to go.
So you don't anticipate them saying, you know what, we're going to go another week without. You think he's trending towards being part of this roster going forward. They're just going to have to monitor him just a little bit more.
Yeah. That's
right.
What I'm thinking.
I'll take that. Most people come in, you always have bad news for us. Well, folks, this is not bad news. This is great news. We should be content because we're going up against a tougher division opponent in the Patriots, and they're always known to have a great defense. Vrabel is a damn good head coach, and they have a quarterback that they're trying to call baby Josh Allen. So he's going to try to emulate what Josh Allen does. And funny enough, Drake May tries to model his game somewhat after Cam Newton himself. And a lot of people compared at the time, at the beginning of their careers, Josh and Cam. And Cam is pretty much getting ready to get passed over by Josh with all of the records that he held. And Josh is not even 30 yet, and he's about to crush those. So that will be an interesting storyline going forward. So good news on Spencer Brown. Thank you for bringing that up. But we still got a few others to talk about. So Spencer Brown being one of them. And let's go back to the list and take a look at a new addition to the injury report is Jackson Hawes. Now, you may not be familiar because I'm only seeing this now. Did you go back over some film and see like, yo, how did he get hurt? Where did he get hurt? What did they say? What did McDermott say? Anything on Jackson Hawes, or still waiting for a little bit more information?
They didn't address him in the pre-practice press conference. So, if they don't mention him, it's either it's not a problem or he got hurt in practice. Okay. But I feel like somebody would have said something by now if it was like, Hawes had to come out of practice. But also, like, the reporters aren't there for the whole practice. So potentially could happen. I'm leaning towards it's fine. He played his highest snap count percentage of the year, and he actually outpaced both the tight ends. Like, he had more snaps than Knox and Kincaid. Kincaid actually had a very low snap count, which I don't know if was a way to like rest him if it was part of the game plan or if he got bumped up during the game. He did take one fall. There was one throw that he had to jump for, and he hit his knee into the turf. I don't have the video for you,
Okay.
but I remember seeing that and being like, damn, that's just how he hurt his PCL last year. Knee into the turf while he's diving. It was like exactly the same way. But he played. He came back and he had the touchdown late in the game. So I can't imagine that it's bothered him too much. And then he's not on the injury report this week. So that's all good signs. But going back to Hawes, he had a huge snap count. Probably tweaked his ankle. But I don't expect him to miss this week.
All right. I mean, listen, he's a fan favorite. I mean, listen, a tight end 3. I've not seen a tight end 3. I mean, listen, give some credit because Quentin Morris was a tight end 3 and he was getting just as much love. But I think Jackson Hawes is really taking over at that role. And some might even say Dawson Knox is his days are numbered, and we're going to be looking at a Kincaid Hawes duo. We'll see how that all shakes out in the end. I mean, it might be a little too early to be putting those assumptions together, but something to definitely pay attention to because we see the number that Dawson Knox is being paid. So we'll see how that all shakes out at the end. So, all right. So Spencer Brown in the books, obviously Jackson Hawes, you're not too stressed about our guy, Mr. Jackson Hawes. So let's jump into it and take a look at Mr. Matt Milano. He had a pec injury. We saw how it happened. He fell forward, jammed his arm in and locked it in, and boom, something happened to the chest. So it's been a couple weeks now. Can we anticipate that we get Milano back? He looked good in practice today. When I say look good, I mean this boy is aesthetically put together, man. Big old dude. Like you would think that this guy was just jacked up and ready to roll, man. So he looked like he was looking the part. What say you on my man Milano? Is it just more of a smoke and mirror thing? He's on the field, but I don't know if he's ready to play, or are they going to hold him out a little longer?
No, if same thing happened last time he had a pec injury, and when he came back from his bicep, they don't need to practice him much. So if he's on the practice field, he's going to play. So he's tackling the dummies. He's engaging with blockers. If they were hesitant and didn't think the pec was up to snuff, he just wouldn't be doing it. If he's cleared for that, he's cleared to play. I expect him to play, especially with Dorian Williams trending towards not playing.
Correct.
So he has a knee. I'll touch more up on Milano in a second, but Williams, I mean, did he start the game? I don't know, but Shaq Thompson came in for most of the second half. Did. So I think Williams was in earlier, and he must have tweaked his knee. Now he always wears a knee brace. He's got some chronic knee stuff. He missed some time last year with a knee, and it's always kind of showed up on the report here and there. He would pop up, and then he'd be off with it. So he's probably got something chronic going on there. I don't know exactly what it is, but there was one play he had to change direction, and you could just tell that it didn't seem right when he came out of the cut. That's probably what happened. He wrenched it, and I would assume he has like some type of cartilage or chronic meniscal type issue in there, and that twisty motion aggravated it. So inflammation sets in, pain, weakness in the quad until it settles down. Don't expect him to play this week if he's already a DNP, but we'll see if he comes in limited tomorrow. That gives you a lot of hope, but I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. I mean, listen, when we brought in Shaq Thompson, I was thrilled because I was like, man, because I used to ask who the heck, because he changed his number when he was with Carolina, and I was always wondering who the heck is. I think he's changed his number to like 7, or it was like a low number where I was like, who in the heck is that guy? And I found it was Shaq Thompson. This guy was left, right, all over the place. So if he's healthy and it's looking like he's healthy, look for him to be the guy that kind of becomes the third linebacker onto the field. If they see that he's up to form. So Dorian Williams having a rough day on top of that because he did not have a good day. And let's keep it a buck here. Not only did he not have a good day, now you're tweaked up and banged up. And when coach took you out to kind of preserve you and hold you down because it wasn't a good day for you, man. We were allowing these guys to run for damn near 200 yards. And if the line ain't doing what they're supposed to do, that's where you guys come in, the front 7. And Dorian was caught up quite a few times. So Shaq Thompson is going to be the next man up, and I think is going to be the right piece. That's been a veteran guy, knows the league, knows his game. And I wouldn't say familiar with McDermott because he was only with McDermott his rookie season. And I mean, how much could you have learned that year with McDermott and learning his system, right? So that being said, I like that trio. Like my man Ty just said, it's going to be Shaq, Milano, and Bernard. Really, that trio is nice. And then throw in some Andreessen and Dorian Williams along the way. It's not a bad little linebacking crew. So good to see Milano back. Dorian being out, Milano comes back. Perfect timing. We get to have their starters back. So I love seeing that. But with Dorian, is that something that is just, he's on there for a little bit, but the fact that didn't practice today, is it a little more serious than we think, or just like McDermott called it, a bump?
Yeah, whatever.
It is what it is.
I'm pretty sure he aggravated his knee. I mean, he's had a knee brace on since camp, so something's wrong.
I ain't tripping. Good. So you feel good about Milano. You feel good about Dorian. I mean, not Dorian. Dorian's going to be off a little bit. Shaq Thompson getting him some time, so
yeah.
I think
now,
I'm
just
okay with that.
Shaq's coming off a year where he tore his Achilles last year.
For sure.
So I'm pretty confident he's not the physical freak he used to be, and he's bulked up a lot. He used to be like the slender speed back. Now he's like diesel. That's why you see him blade the lumber the past 2 games. So guys like this late in their career coming off of injuries, they lose a lot physically with speed and agility, stuff like that. But what they make up for that was with their brain. So, between the ears. So he's in the right place. Same thing with Milano, guys. It should be no surprise. His lateral agility has taken a hit since that 2023 knee injury. He's definitely not the same player, but when he can diagnose and come downhill, I mean, he looks like an all-pro. So it's a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde with him, and I'm sure you get that with Shaq Thompson too. I haven't watched him enough. I mean, he's only played sparingly, but it's good to have heady players at the second level. But if you're playing man defense, teams start to realize like, hey, let's like script it up so we can pick on this guy that might rear its ugly head down the road. Just takes a good offense coordinator and the right players to do that with. We'll see.
Hopefully the pass rush does what they're supposed to do. We're not allowing these guys to be too exposed for very long. So pass rush needs to get home. That's the way I look at it. Love to see it. All right, here we go. So we got Matt Milano, but here's the pièce de résistance, monsieur. Le pièce de résistance, monsieur Ed Oliver, monsieur Edouard. All right, Ed Oliver. Talk to me on Ed before you do. Right, you have me paying attention to some of the clips that you freeze frame and move, and we talked about it last week, and there was a video clip of him just simply walking, and then I was like, okay, cool, I get it, he's out of the boot now, so there's going to be a noticeable limp. Then I saw him walking into the stadium, and then when they go through the metal detector, and Mans was walking with not a comfortable walk. There's a swag when some people walk. This was not a swag. All that cool was out of his walk. This was a man that was still trying to gather himself. I thought he'd be ready to go, but I don't think he is. But I saw something that you said that, they're trending upwards. Do you see that there's a potential that he plays this week, or hold him out?
All right. So on paper, you don't put someone on the IR because you think they're going to come back in within 4 weeks. So if they missed 4 games, it was kind of a dud. You should have put them on the IR. However, It's early in the year, so you don't want to waste the IR to returns. Ed's probably got an injury that's a, variable 3 to 5 weeker. Assuming he's got a high ankle sprain because he was in a boot for a week. He was on one of those kneeling rollers. He wore the boot for a week.
Right.
And then we first saw him walking around against the Dolphins. Okay, so he's walking across the field. You can tell he's taking a short stride. I noted this, tweeted it out. He's got short stride when his weight's on his affected left foot because his ankle must have been stiff and painful. So you could tell he's, he doesn't want to reach his right leg out because that's going to stretch his left ankle. So you could tell it's still stiff, which wasn't odd, as you just first come out of the boot. Oh, this is distracting me. So hang on.
Gotcha. Keep going.
All right. So that was Thursday. So that was about 2 weeks ago. Then we saw him on Sunday walking into the locker room. Now, believe it or not, what I do is I like take the screenshot and then I put it in slow motion on my phone. His flexibility of his ankle is better. He was taking better strides, but you could still see there was like a little shift off it. So you could tell he wasn't perfect, but you could tell he was moving in the right direction. And then we get to this week. This week would be the 4th game he'll miss if he does. So I'm thinking they're probably going to throw him into practice. So when I heard the report that he's going to practice today, I was like, oh, things are on the rise. Okay. As long as with the other guys, Milano and Brown. And then the videos came out. And then the first video I saw was him in a 3-point stance and just shooting out straight. And his front foot was the left foot, the affected foot, and he's driving off it. And I'm like, okay, they got him good. Then the other videos came out. Sale Capaccio's videos specifically. So the first one he had up there is he's running on air and he comes out of his stance, takes 2 steps, and then he's got to close down. So D tackles, if there's like a pulling guard, and your guy doesn't block this one, yes. So run it, chop, and you can see how he pulls up when he pushes off his left. Run it back. We'll look at it. So he's pushing off his left foot, nice chop. Ooh, and you could just see that last one he pushed off to close down, and you can see how he had to shake it out. Just keep running it.
Yep.
So everybody else in the chat can start to feel that. You guys in the chat, hopefully you can appreciate that. You can see where it kind of hurts him on that last lateral stride. So I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look good. So now we can assume that his linear, that means front and back movement of his ankle, seems pretty good. But his lateral, which would be change of direction type stuff, isn't up to snuff. So this is something you can start to work through. Now there was a third video, Rico, that's since been deleted by Sal Capaccio. So what happened is Ed runs a drill and he finishes the drill up and then he's walking back to the line and you can hear him say, that ish hurt like a mother. And I don't know if you could swear on YouTube, so I'm just trying to, you get the point. So the fact that he's in that much pain and he's, running these drills, he's having issues changing a direction. He had the stiffness and the limp just a few days ago. I don't see a world where Ed Oliver plays. Now, there is a way to get yourself on the field, but I don't think you want to do that week 5.
What are we talking about?
Shoot it. Yeah, but why would you do that week 5? I don't think this team's that dumb. It's fine.
Okay.
I know it's the Patriots. I know it's a big game. It's the rivalry jersey game. I mean, we all bought the stuff. I know they were looking forward to trying to get him back for this, but if he looks like this on Wednesday, even if he looks better on Sunday, warming up, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's a smart idea. And you do have a bye week looming. So even if you inch closer next week and he's still kind of it still kind of hurts, just take your time with it, guys. It's a long year because what's going to happen if he goes out and plays, he's got the competitive juices going, he's going to twist and turn and he's going to be taking leverage from a blocker. And if he resprains it, you are going to reset that clock another month. And no one wants that. So he is almost out of the woodworks. It's obviously not there. And that's how I feel about Ed Oliver. Now, I will eat my words if he shows up Sunday. I would be shocked. But there are ways to get the guys on the field. Like I said, I just don't think it's the smartest thing to do in the first quarter of the season.
I can guarantee you people are going to make you eat your words. I can guarantee you. And you know what? You'll gladly, like you said, you'll gladly eat your words. So
you guys you could tell I'm not making this up. I mean, you guys can see it. You can see it in his body language and the video. Like I said, now I know it was taken down because Sales got good accountability and they heard the players talking and you can't post that at practice. So that was real good for Sales.
Right.
Good guy there. And but just the fact that it's hurting him and the change of direction bothers him. I don't see it happening.
All right. So good chance they might. I mean, listen, I'll ask you this. I'll put it this way. If you're the Bills consultant, they say, hey, man, he tells me he's good. And based on what you've seen, and before we fly you, you know what I mean, from your beautiful state of where you live at, you know what I'm saying, in the city that you live at, before we fly you in and put a jet out there for you, based on what you see, should we just hold him out until the bye week and then just call it a day? Or, I mean, we could use him this game. What are your thoughts? Should we push it if he's telling us or just hold him out?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Okay, so I have a good answer for you. So I got to speak with Lorenzo Alexander in 2020.
Sure.
and it was like fresh off the backs of the team getting the new medical facilities and training facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, like, what's different about the Bills staff that from previous places you've been at? And he's like, he had a lot of nice things to say, especially the new strength and conditioning coach. Even though he was the assistant when he was playing, he said this guy's a good one. Anyways, for what it's worth, he said the team takes a team approach when they decide if someone's going to play or not play. Obviously, it's up to the player and their family, but they also have to consult the agent, and the team has a say. So they have to all
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
So if the
Okay.
team says no, he doesn't play. If the player says no, he doesn't play. If the agent's in the player's ear and he says no, you need a week off. We got a contract coming up. He doesn't play. So I'm just gonna assume they're gonna make the right decision here.
I assume they will. Every time I think of players that are injured and it comes down to game time, it reminds me of my favorite football movie, Any Given Sunday, and where Shark is like, I'm going in that game whether you like me or not. Shoot me up. Shoot. No, Shark, you can't do it. Shoot me up. Anyways, he ended up getting a huge concussion, but he got his money. So I always think of that when players have to decide if they're going to play or not, because one less game away, and that gives another guy an opportunity to jump in, but not the case here. Ed Oliver is an established starter. He's paid. This is one of those things where we're looking at the long term rather than the short term. So I appreciate that as well. So if he has to sit out, like I said, more time for TJ Sanders to get some reps underneath him, more time for obviously Deion Walker. And let's not forget, in a couple weeks' time, we got a couple guys that are going to be showing up in obviously Hoyt and Ogunjobi. So we'll soon see what takes place. So Ed Oliver, safe to say, they'll probably say, you know what, let's take another week off, brother. But if he does play, you'll be shocked, but you'll gladly eat your words. These are coming from the words of my man, the Thigh Doc himself. And lastly, but not least, I mean, this person is not on the list, but you start seeing injuries happening to certain players, but I'm going to flip the script a little bit. I'm going to go to the other side of the field, and I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. They've got their stuff out, and it turns out that safety Jalen Hawkins and starting linebacker Shea Song didn't practice, so they're on the list right now. Christian Barmore, and Milt Williams were limited as well, so they're banged up, as well as starter Jared Wilson. So they've got a few guys that are banged up themselves. So they're not coming in here with a clean slate. They're coming in with some injuries themselves. If you were going to look at one of the players that should, give us a little bit more reprieve, a little bit, I don't know how familiar you are with these guys. Who is it that stands out to you that says, you know what, this is going to give us a good chance? I would assume Jared Wilson, the starting left guard, allows us to kind of really take full advantage of that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, when you see guys limited on Wednesday, usually those guys are going to trend and play.
Okay.
And what you do see here, though, is their top two defensive tackles. Now, Barrymore had to miss a year because of those blood clots, but he's since lost a lot of weight, and he actually had a really good game last week. So their and Milton Williams is the one from the Eagles, who's a rising player. So they have a really good interior. Those guys are, Milton's a young up and coming. Christian's been around for a while, but he's in a new body and obviously well rested. He had the year off. It wasn't like an injury thing; it was a blood clot thing, so it's a little different. I don't know how Chieson's doing. I know he's bounced around a little bit. I don't know if he's a star player for them. I really have, I'm doing off the cuff here, Rico. I haven't really looked at this yet.
No doubt.
But I do know that they cut both their safeties, and when you see a hamstring for a safety, I'm assuming that's one of their starters. That means they're going to be way down the depth chart in that secondary there. So that looks juicy to me. I
like it.
You got to confirm if that's their starting safety, which
I'll have to go back and take a look, but that sounds kind of juicy to me. So that tells me maybe Josh is going to be getting ready to loosen that arm up and get that thing cranking. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more of that. So before we get you out of here, because I want to watch my time, I do want to get your thoughts on a couple things, right? Tyreek Hill. Obviously you saw the sideline. Unfortunate knee got tangled up on a wrong angle, weight on it, and then boom, there goes his knee dislocated. Doing a bit of reading, dislocated knees usually say it means ACL, LCL, PCL. The whole knee is just shot.
Yeah.
In this case, they're saying just the ACL and a knee dislocation. Does that mean it's all ripped up, or did he salvage? Because they're saying, yo, you'll see him next year. He'll be here next year. Meanwhile, I'm hearing, dude, those things take like about 1.5 to 2 years. Based on what you're seeing, what you're reading, I'm sure you're invested. What happens to Tyreek? Is this a career's done, or will he? Obviously, if he comes back, he can't be the same player he once was.
Yeah. All right. So a couple layers, right?
Yep.
Funny story. Not watching the game at the time, and then usually, I play Yahoo Fantasy Sports. So sometimes if you got a player in the game, it'll give you an alert like, oh, someone's down to doubtful. I don't have Tyreek Hill on any of my teams, and I got an alert, and it wasn't Tyreek. Tyreek Hill is injured. It says Tyreek Hill leaves field with gruesome injury, and I was like, oh boy, better turn into that. So took a look at it. One look, you see the leg sticking sideways, so that is textbook knee dislocation. Now, if the shin looked like it was straight on and you just saw a big thing sticking out the side, there would be a patella dislocation, which is a whole different ballpark. That is Tank Dell's injury. So Tank Dell's leg didn't look like it was crooked, just something was sticking out to the side. Easy to fix, yeah, but still needs like a 9-month recovery. But that's a whole different world. You're living in a whole different world than a dislocated knee. Problem with the dislocated knee is the way it pops out is it like blows out the lateral structures. But there's a really important nerve there that can get hit, and it's called the peroneal nerve, also called the fibular nerve. That holds your foot up, so it'll give you a drop foot if it's beat up too much. Now it can get stretched, or it can get torn. If torn, you're screwed. But stretched, you still don't really know how much is going to come back and how quick it's going to come back. So a player who had a varus stress, that means like the leg bows out, ACL combo from the Bills 2 years ago was Tommy Doyle, and he had the foot drop and he couldn't come back. There was a player for Notre Dame who was a top prospect linebacker, and I don't know the extent of his drop foot, but they said he had nerve damage, and the Cowboys ended up drafting him, I think, around the second round, but he never made it to a second contract.
Yes, that was linebacker Williams, Jay something. I forgot his name. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, super athletic. He was from Notre Dame, so
he
never really cut it. So Tyreek has that injury, so it TBD if there's nerve damage, and then when you do dislocate the knee, like the whole thing, like the tibia and the femur disjoint. So when that happens, it usually doesn't just happen when one ligament pops. Like you have to have multiple ligaments teared for that to even get to that point. And due to the stress that was the way it happened, it's the LCL because it pops out the side. So you got to assume the LCL is torn, probably tears his patella. It's called the MPFL. It's what holds the patella in, because you could also see his patella sticking out.
Jalen Smith.
That tears.
Jalen Smith was the guy. Right. Yep.
And then the ACL goes too. So you got like multiple knee ligaments, and you got to wait on the nerve and see how that looks. Now, Drew Rosenhaus, everybody. I don't know how long everybody here has been a Bills fan, but Drew Rosenhaus also said Willis McGahee was going to be ready after his gruesome injury in college, and then he never played his first year for the Bills. So that's agent speak. I don't know how much the validity is. Now Tyreek's got an unguaranteed contract for next year. He's going to find himself off the Dolphins and rehabbing on his own prior to March 5th. And it's the agent's responsibility to get him another contract. So he is going to put the word out that he's going to be ready. In reality, he's a freak athlete. Can he overcome it? If he doesn't have the nerve damage, he can, but he is going to be a shell of himself. And then he's going to get to someone's camp, and then they're going to put him on the PUP list, and it's going to brew and percolate until midseason. If he's on his best behavior, maybe if he's on a good team and he realizes he's going to be a role player now, he might have some positive contribution by the end of the year. But after that first and second year back, it's over, man. He's going to be 34, 35, and the knee's going to go to crap.
Oh, he's easy. You're adding some ages. You're adding some years on him. He's 30 right now. So by the time he's back, 33.
No. Tyreek he's 31
He's 31. He's like 30 or 31.
I'm looking it up right now.
You look it up right now, brother. He's like 30, 31. Don't try to age my brother. So, and the reason I'm saying this is because
Tyreek's turning 32 in March.
32 in March? Okay, yeah.
So then 34. You assume he comes into his 32-year-old year. It's only going to be a half a year if he's lucky.
That's right.
Then he's going to hit 33, turning 34 that second year. Maybe he has one good year there. And then what? What are you going to do? Tyreek Hill, 34 years old, coming off a dislocated knee?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Tyreek Hill coming off a dislocated knee is like the speed of Josh Palmer or the speed of whoever. So even then, it's still a win. And I'm not even trying to disrespect Josh Palmer.
Yeah. But he's going to have difficulty with change of direction.
Right.
And that's going to take the cutting out. And he's at a position where it's not forgiving to not be able to do that.
100%.
So this isn't like Chubb coming back where he's just a bruiser and he could just like run 3 yards a cloud of dust and he kind of looks like himself. It's a whole different ballpark.
I wouldn't be mad if the Bills were like, hey man, what's your price? What are we looking at here?
You could rehab here for vet minimum.
Listen, I'll send you to the thigh doc. Thigh doc will get you just right, and he'll get you right ready to go. All right, cool. Last but not least, I got a couple more minutes with you, and then I'm gonna let you get going because I know you got some stuff to do. Your thoughts, quick. Give me just your thought. Shedeur Sanders. They had a press. I wouldn't call it a presser. They were at his locker room asking him or trying to ask him about. I mean, hey, they made a quarterback change. What are your thoughts? Who knows? The thing is, he didn't say a word.
But not only did he say a word, he
was miming his way and saying he's mouthing whatever and not saying an actual word. He literally said no words. How do you feel about them trying to two-part question? The media trying to get his reaction on this when he's the third string quarterback. Nobody's looking for the third string quarterback. Number one. Number two, what are your thoughts on him actually going through that silliness? To me, I think that's mad silly. You're too grown for that nonsense. I understand what he's trying to do, but still too grown. What are your thoughts, Shedeur Sanders?
Immature. He knows his name comes with the territory. He should be better buttoned up for that. He doesn't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to be Josh Allen with the media. But you can't be doing that. That's a clown show.
That is.
It's I don't know. It's kind of disrespectful to reporters trying to do their job. And I don't know. I mean, he's young. It's not like this is the end of his career, but he's going to have to grow up, and or he's never going to get the shot he wants.
Listen, you can work as hard as you want to, doing all this stuff in the background, but if they don't like you, they don't like you, and that's just what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Unless you absolutely stay quiet and just. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Just do one of those, but just family. You just gotta. It is what it is. It takes nothing to say, hey man, I'm the third string quarterback. Focus on the second string quarterback, man. Because right now, second string, I'm not even second string. They're putting Joe Flacco at second string. He's first string. Go deal with that. I'm just trying to get better, and when it's my time, it's my time. But he didn't take that opportunity. He decided to make it about himself in this case. I didn't like it personally. All right, brother.
Yeah. Last thing.
Go ahead. Jump in there.
Up, guys. I got 2 minutes.
Yes.
Players, Bass, even if Bass is ready, I mean, things are looking good with Prater. I mean, just ride it out. If things get sideways with Prater, okay, Bass is ready to play. That's how I see that one shaking out. Grable, I thought they really liked him. They had seemed like he was going to be their 6-0 lineman. The concussion thing, I don't want to take away from him. Maybe he has a real serious concussion problem, but it seemed a little bit like a roster stash. So I know it's a numbers game. I'm sure they're just going to hang on. I think they're just going to hang on to him on there until they need him. So say, knock on wood, Spencer Brown, suffers something a little more severe and he's shut down. Now's a good time to bring Grable in because you don't want to really rely on Vandermark for too long consistently. Now, I know he graded out good with PFF, but those of us who watched the game, he got manhandled by Cam Jordan a few times. Caused a lot of disruption, and then unfortunately tripped over a player on that trap play in the fourth quarter. But anyways, I guess he's pretty good in the run game, though, otherwise. And then the big one is Max Hairston. So listen, Max is at 9 weeks post-LCL. I mean, he's probably going to need a brace until he's 3 months from the injury, so he's got about 3 more weeks in the brace. Doesn't seem like the team.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is going to rush it. I think that is clear. And with that said, you would think timeline-wise, this man is good start practicing. He looked pretty good on the field drills. I know the first day shocked everyone. Oh my God, he's in this brace. He's only doing like hopping on one leg. But the next day he was doing running, cutting ball drills. That looks good enough to me to get on the field for practice. But with that said, you have a bye week looming. So we have this game, next game, and a bye week. So if you were to activate him and you are really concerned about him getting practice reps, it's not a good use of the 21-day window to have the window during a bye week because the team's not going to practice. So with that said, why not let him heal, get to the 12 weeks from the injury, ditch the brace, and start the clock then. So he gets the full 3 weeks of practice uninhibited by this knee brace and bring him back the right way.
Agreed. I think I'm with everything you're saying right now, and it's not like they're pressed to bring him back. Coach seems to like Trey White, and he seems to like Dorian Strong. That pairing seemed to be going in and out for one another, and Benford on the other side. Does not necessarily a need to rush that brother back. So I guess we can wait this thing out. So the PUP, I guess we're gonna have to wait, man. So these IR guys, they gotta wait it out. They don't have to. They've opened the 21-day windows was present, but they said, nah, we're good. We're gonna keep these guys on the injured reserve list until we are ready to activate. So Prater, you buy yourself some time. We'll see how that goes out. Codrington, there's a few guys I said, whew, okay, I still got time to try to make something of myself on this team so they don't look my way when it's time to make some changes. So it's going to be fun, man. Brandon B's got a tough task ahead for him to decide when it's time to decide. So we'll see how that all shakes out. So Saturday, you are continuing to do your pieces on Saturday where you put out articles and you're doing your thing. So what can we expect this Saturday? More of the same to updates as to who's doing what or anything, any new pieces coming out?
No, the usual. So Friday is a good day. The end of the injury report comes out, so I
Okay.
know the designations. I mean, if I can bang it out in time, I'll post it
Oh yeah.
Friday night, but just expect to look for it Saturday morning. I'll pin it to my profile. Take a click, enjoy it, thighdoctor.com. Don't take it too seriously. So usually I like to do a little jokes in the beginning, get the Raiders into it. But then player by player, it's broken down. It's half fact, half my thought, like where I think it's going and what's going on. Take it or leave it, believe me or not. Um, Hopefully my reputation speaks for itself.
Ooh, that's a strong way to end it. I'll look at that. Hopefully my reputation speaks for itself. All right, brother. Listen, much love to you. And we will catch you next week again
Yeah,
on Theology Wednesdays. And we'll catch you at the next one, man.
always my pleasure. All right,
Yes,
go
sir.
Bills. I think we got this.
You got it, boss. Peace.
All right.
All right, that's my guy, the Thigh Doc coming in. I mean, are you guys okay with the news he kind of dropped? Because I know sometimes you guys be giving him a hard time, saying, "Hey, man, stop quick giving us bad news." But I don't see anything wrong with how he handled it. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the injury reserve list is open. They had the 21 days to pull someone and say, "Hey, I'm starting the clock with you guys right now." No clock started, so it is what it is at this point. So I've got a few things I wanted to share when it comes to the IR and questions for the chat. So before I even get to that, you guys already know what time it is. It's time to chat it up with y'all. Let me share my screen real quick before we get into there. So obviously, if you guys have not jumped on the Sleeper app, we've been telling you guys about that for a minute now. So I'm hoping that you guys have heeded our words and have jumped in and allowed yourself to download the app. And I hope your fantasy team is doing well. It's confirmed 3-1 on both my teams, and we're doing all right. Right, we had to make a couple changes. Bye weeks are now in play, so there's certain teams that are on bye week. So I hope that your 14-team league, which I'm in one of them, has enough guys that you can go into the waiver wire and see if you can squeeze a couple players onto that. If not, you're cooked. You're done. So anyway, if you guys have not downloaded the Sleeper app, go ahead and download that Sleeper app. Do not sleep on it. 100% deposit will match up to $100 by using the promo code BF25. The link will be in the description. All right. So that being said, folks, you guys already know what time it is. So use that promo code BF25 and get your 100% up to match up to $100. All right. So sleeper.com using the BF code BF25. Terms and conditions will apply. You guys already know what time it is. So that being said, let me jump in real quick and let's take a look at our Thursday, because there's a Thursday night game coming up. So let me share my screen quick and let you guys know what my picks are for this coming up game. So you guys already know what time it is. So here it is. If you guys can, if you guys see it, let me get my thing cracking here, because you know me, I gotta switch up the screen. Et voilà. Bon, on est là. Et voilà. Excellent. All right, here we go. So Thursday night, we got the San Fran versus the LA Rams. You know, Puka Nacua is going to do his thing. But before we get to that, we got McCaffrey at 58.5 yards rushing. Give it to me. I'm going to go more on that one. McCaffrey is just a G, and he's just getting warmed up, man. He's just getting right. And he's going to have to be leaned on heavily if the quarterback, Brock Purdy, just coming back, is going to wrap back out again. So they're going to lean on my man heavily to get the ball rolling. So McCaffrey, give me the 58.5 yards or more. I'm going to go for the more. Matthew Stafford, that's an easy pick 'em. More on the yards. Devontae Adams. I don't know if anybody's a lockdown corner over there in San Fran. I don't see it, and I don't think it's going to happen. So give me Devontae Adams at 56.5 yards. Give me the more. And last but not least, Tutu Atwell. That one's a special one, right? I think they're going to try to get him more involved. We saw all the speed that brother had. I think we go back to that route. So give me the more at 9.5 yards. Dude, that's just a quick screen. Quick screen, boom, take it up there. Couple screens in the game, boom, boom. Bob's your uncle, and you're getting yourself a little something there. Put a little $10 on that, and you get everything right, man. That's $30 right in your pocket, baby. So let's see if we can make that happen. So remember, be responsible with how you do your thing, and we'll go from there. So that is my picks for our sleeper code. So get that 100% match up to $100 and use that BF code 25, BF25. And let's keep it rolling. So let us roll back into, get my thing getting back in here. Here we go. Boom. All right. So folks, as we get back into this conversation here, let me get my screen back in. There we go. As we get back into this conversation with the guys that are on the IR, all right, there's decisions to be made by Brandon Beane. Let's just call it what it is. Brandon Beane's got some decisions to make. What route does he go? So if you guys have been following me on my socials, I posted a question real quick. And I was curious as to, like, what takes place? What is going to happen with what Brandon Beane, when Brandon Beane has to open that 21-day window, because he's got 3 players that we're sitting there. Let me just get my screen open real quick just so I can kind of get it cracking here. There we go. So he's got to make decisions. Okay. So we have the roster is full. The roster is full. We already know what time it is. So there's really not much else to talk about. We know what he has to do. He's got to get his act together and get things cracking. So when the time comes where he says, okay, Max Harrison, we need you. Tyler Bass, we need you. You know what I'm saying? Tylen Grable, we grabbed you as a very athletic right tackle. You're a big boy, and we're going to need you on the field. What do you do with the current roster that you have now? Who is going to be sent packing? Who do you get off the roster and start shuffling things on the practice roster? So I had a tweet this morning, and that I wanted you guys to jump in on and give me your thoughts and on what you think, right? So as I'm looking at what I see here, and let me get see here. So basically what takes place is 4 weeks are up. You now have to bring your players back. Are they healthy enough? Can they perform? So if you don't activate the 21 window, all that happens is these guys remain on the injured reserve. If you don't bring them back, that clearly states that they're not coming back. They're on the injured reserve, and that's it. Here's the deal. The Bills and every NFL team has 8 designations, 8 spots. So if we have 3 guys right now that are on the IR, if we decide to bring them all back right now, then obviously let's do the math. You got 5 more designations. So hopefully nobody gets injured. We don't even have to go and venture there. So here we are. Brandon Beane has 8 spots. So if he can bring every one of these guys back, but you got to make a decision on the guys that are currently on the roster. So the easy one, Prater. Obviously, if they feel good enough about Tyler Bass, Prater, you got to go. Tyler Bass returns. The only problem is we don't know what kind of shape Tyler Bass is going to return in. Is he going to come back rusty? Obviously, that 21-day window gives him about a good 3 weeks to kind of get back up to par. So if Prater continues to kick field goal after field goal and then gets us a couple game winners, or, he bangs in a 60-yarder, how do you move on from that? But to me, that's the easiest decision to make. Kicker for kicker. Prater, you already knew what time it was. You got to go. Here comes Tyler Bass. All right, that's set. Then you got Max Hairston. Who bites the dust for Max Hairston? So I'm looking at the roster. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so who would bite the dust? Well, I kind of gave some options here, right? You got Jamarcus Ingram. You got Codrington. You got Chris Lund, our rookie tackle. You got Curtis Samuel I put on the list as well. I got Elijah Moore I have on the list, and you got Javon Solomon. All right? So you got those players there, and I have those ones. You might see another player that's on that roster that you feel like that guy needs to go. Now, Hairston. To me, if you bring back Hairston immediately, to me, takes over Ingram. Ingram is now released. They tell him to stay in the parking lot. We're going to go to the practice squad and release one of the guys on the practice squad, and then Ingram heads to the practice squad. So now you've activated Hairston. But then you got to do something about Tylen Grable. So do you move on from the rookie Chris Lund? Is it easier to do that? Will he be able to be placed on the practice squad? Is somebody going to yank him? But if you like Tylen Grable enough, should it matter if Lund comes back? Or do you see a lot of potential in him? You like Alec Anderson. He's like the goon of the squad, and Ryan Vandermark you have on the squad. So what does Brandon Beane do? What route does he take? Here's the great thing about this. He doesn't have to make a decision anytime soon. And he doesn't have to designate everybody back at the same time. If he has to go one by one, so be it. So that being said, I cannot wait when these guys do come back, when they're fully prepared and ready to go, because then we'll have a fully functional team. Let's not forget, in 2 weeks' time, Larry Ogunjobi is set to return. So now you got to make a decision with that. And then on top of that, you got Mike Hoyt that returns. So Javon Solomon, Mike Hoyt, Larry Ogunjobi. I don't know. Do you move on from Chris Lund, or does Chris Lund and Grable go at it? So these are the things that he's going to have to bounce around and move some things around. So go ahead and participate with that tweet that I have up there. Share me what your thoughts are. Who would you bring on? Who would you let go? Who do you have to move around? I think it's a fascinating scenario that Brandon Beane puts himself into. I mean, yeah, say puts himself into. It's a good thing because we start getting players back. So something to rather you want to pay attention to, because I think if you really give it some time, it may not be as difficult as it may seem. It might be straight to the point, and it's pretty simple stuff. So I'm curious to see how it all takes out, but he's got time. The beautiful thing about this is he's got time. He can wait it out, and there's really no rush for him to really make things happen. I mean, some folks are saying, hey, man, Grable, replace him with Lund, Hairston, Ingram, easy peasy, Hoyt, Solomon, and then Codrington, right? So my man Joe Marino was like, yo, man, I see your tweet. Let me retweet it, and let me give you my assessment. So he was like, if I that were in charge, it'd be Grable for Lund, Hairston for Ingram, Michael Hoyt for Solomon, Ogunjobi for Codrington. So then I found that fascinating, because I'm like, this Saints game that just took place, and I had to kind of give it some thought. I wanted to share that on my show yesterday, but I never got a chance to. When you're looking at certain games that you're like, yo, we should be able to wax this team, no problem. So this is where you want to experiment a little bit, right? You want to experiment not to the detriment of your team, but experiment and tweak a little bit, enough that you can kind of mess around a little bit, right? To see if, what does this combination look like? Or what does this combination look like? And I think this is exactly what the Bills decided to do. They were like, yo, let's make Codrington inactive. Let's see what it looks like in terms of what it looks like when returning. Okay, so it didn't look so bad. It wasn't disastrous to have, some guys back there to return the punt and return kicks. So when Ogunjobi does come back and Michael Hoyt does come back, and that 21-day window has now opened and we got to bring some players back, Codrington could be one of the guys that gets put out, and they just deal with having a mediocre return game, because Codrington was supposed to come in and be a difference maker, a big-time difference maker. That's why we traded for the guy, right? I need you to be the difference maker. And he hasn't done a whole lot as of late with the Bills. So this tweaking has everything to do with in the future of like, I'm just trying to move some pieces around and make sure that we have it. They activated Hancock. They got him on the field. Okay, what does he look like doing special teams? Okay, let's keep it moving around. So look for some teams that are not as strong in record. Look for Brandon Beane to kind of tweak some things around and make sure that by the time week 16, 17, 18 comes around, we'll have a very good picture of what we want the team to look like going into the playoffs. As of right now, they're just tweaking. They're just tweaking some things around. You just can't tweak too much because you don't want to throw everything off. So obviously some guys being hurt doesn't help the situation, but this is the time to go ahead and tweak and move some things around and shuffle some roster pieces around. And you'll probably start to see more when we're playing teams that are like, not the greatest. We can tweak some things around. So obviously injuries clearly kind of, get in the way of these things. But at the end of the day, that's when you got to do it. When you don't have the ideal roster set up, all right, here's where I'm going to start moving some things around to make sure things are in place. So we'll see. kind of interesting to see how this is all going to shake out, but I'm paying attention nonetheless. Shout out to my girl Laura. What's up, Laura? What's up, my girl? She goes, especially with all our injuries. Yes, you got to take your things around. So I'll speak for myself because I was like, yo, what are we doing? Why are we doing this and why are we doing that? And like, I'm like, hold on now. The Saints was a team that we were supposed to handle no problem. Obviously, we made it a little challenging for ourselves because, you know what I mean, the penalties obviously hurt and we're us not executing the way we need to and obviously not defending the run. But in the midst of all those things, you got to still tweak some things around just to make sure that it works out. Shout out to my boy Richie Fresh. What up, Rich? He goes, yo, with the Bengals in shambles, we may need to have a serious conversation about trading for Hendrickson. Could Bills make it work with him only on a one-year deal? I don't think the Bengals are even trying to do that. The Bengals are in such a mess. The Bengals are in such a mess. And how do you do that? How do you go all off season? Think about it. You go all off season without having conversation. You went from being mum, not saying a word, and then finally when the season's coming about, and then you strike a deal late before the season starts, and now you're ready to go. You can't go all that time to then finally make a deal and then move on from them. That would be very odd, unless they're telling us they've conceded, the season is done, whether, you know what I'm saying, Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow returns, but by then you'll be playing for nothing because the way that quarterback is playing, Browning blows. They're doomed, and the O-line's even worse. So like, it's a tough situation for the Bengals, but the way I'm looking at it, man, it's kind of like how people were looking at, I guess you could say, my LA Lakers, right? Some people were like, yo, the 2020 championship when there was no COVID was happening and that didn't count, right? A lot of people saying that didn't count. To me, I think it's even harder. Anyways, that's a whole nother ballgame. But the reason I bring that up is some folks are saying, well, look, Lamar Jackson's having a terrible year. He just got hurt. And if they lose 2, 3, 4 more games, they're cooked, right? Pat Mahomes doesn't look like the same. No, I don't buy that. He looks the same. Chargers, much improved team. But then you're looking at all these injuries that are taking place, right? Where teams are like, yo, what's happening? So some folks are looking at this like, yo, this might be the year for the Bills based on their schedule, based on all these injuries that are happening to teams that, you know what I'm saying, that would have been a challenge for the Bills then, now may not be now. So something to monitor and pay attention to at the end of the day. But man, do I feel bad for the Bengals. The Bengals just, this is what you get. This is what you get. So shame on y'all. You put all your money into 2 receivers that depend heavily on the quarterback. But the quarterback that these receivers depend on has a history of being injured. So you took a major risk in paying those 3 players, and now the guy that's supposed to give him the football can't do it. So now you have 2 expensive Lamborghinis, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be in the garage, but now you have them sitting in the rain and can't move. Bro, that blows. That absolutely blows. You feel for them. Can't run the football, can't pass, O-line blows, quarterback sucks. And the defense is all right. Bro, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. I feel bad for the Bengals. Bengals fans, I feel bad for y'all. Y'all had high hopes. Y'all were going to do it. My boy Zim and my man Ace, those 2 boys that are, the podcasters for the Bengals, they had high hopes. And I can't imagine how their podcasts are going now because my man was talking big-ish. And now you can't. It sucks. But you know why? Because you put all that money into those 2 guys. You thought we couldn't pay everybody, and we did. Look at y'all now. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's actually terrible. And I like Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow he's the shit. I think it's great. But fam, you put a lot of money into that, man. You could have put some money in all these other places to kind of shore up. Listen, you might have to trade for somebody. You might have to go out and trade for somebody because if you don't, you're doomed. Kirk Cousins, available. Is he going to be costly because they know that you're in absolute need? Absolutely, they will. You might have to go to Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston. Like, you have 3 quarterbacks sitting there ready to be had. And I'm sure they'll take some picks off of you. Might cost you some, but if you want to try to preserve your season, you think you kind of consider You know what I'm saying? Making some phone calls. And I'm not saying they're not making phone calls. They probably are making phone calls. But right now, things are going to be pricey. And I mean, I got one more quarterback I can mention to you is Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur is sitting there just waiting to have an opportunity. But he's going to have to wait a little longer. He's going to have to wait a little longer. Legit, you know what, Laura? Yeah, go get Flacco. They'll gladly ask for Flacco to just hold it down for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's awful. It's awful. Anyway, before I get out of here, I got to touch on one last topic, and that is for my guy, Shedeur Sanders. Listen, listen, in the end, he should know better. Let me just say this. Shedeur Sanders should know better. Shiloh Sanders should know better. And his actions has cost him an ability to be on a team that is winning right now. He would probably still be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a 53-man roster safety had he just stayed, because he was actually, making a name for himself. But he decided to be a bozo, and there he is. He's not in the league right now until he gets another opportunity. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, should know better. Your dad was a professional athlete that was as outspoken as they come, but he backed it up. Whether you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, they're hating on me, this is just them trying to control me, whatever you want to call it. Even if you know that situation, bro, put your head down, which you are doing, go to work, which you are doing, and if they're trying to get a soundbite out of you, don't give them the soundbite. Don't give them the soundbite. Because whether it's a positive soundbite where you're trying to show positivity in yourself and confidence in yourself, or you say nothing, they're still going to try to make something of it. Just keep your mouth shut and just do what you do. And when your opportunity comes, it comes. But this brother had to do this whole miming and not saying a word and making a clown show of himself. It just makes the other 31 teams look around and be like, yo, I could use a quarterback like this as a backup, or maybe potentially to lead my franchise. But this is a turnoff. It's an absolute turnoff. Fam, in this juncture, you're not trying to turn teams off. You're trying to turn teams on, right? And maybe some might look at you as, oh, you're too braggadocious, talk about, yo, there's quarterbacks in this place I can be better than. Fam, where you got drafted, whether fair or not, that's where you got drafted. There are a lot of a-holes in the NFL that teams would have been like, yo, I don't want to trust that guy, but the talent outweighed all the mouth and all the chatter. And here they are. So, bro, just keep your mouth shut. Keep your get your mouth shut and call it a day. You don't have the privilege to do all that stuff. You ain't your pops. You certainly aren't your pops. And you're playing one of the best, the toughest position to play in football, and where a lot of chips have to be put into your hands. And if you can't handle yourself off the field, bro, how am I going to expect you to come on the field and kind of do what you do? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, there's a lot of that. A lot of this NFL, they're looking at you. Rex Ryan, you got Rex Ryan bumping his gums. Like, you know that's what Rex Ryan does, and he gets all passionate and stuff. So then now you did that for Rex Ryan. That's the worst part. Man up. You can't get all sensitive because Rex Ryan's talking. Ain't nobody respecting Rex Ryan. Nobody is. Like, he talks a big game, and you just saw when he went on this rant, and they're like, anyway, moving on to the next point. Bam. Shedeur, you messing up, bro. You messing up. Anyway, that's my take on the Shedeur. Just shut your ass up and just wait for your turn. Your turn's coming. It's coming. Shout out to my guy, Jeff King. Jeff King comes in and said, hey, man, Shedeur is a product of the lifestyle and image his dad provided. Now, Prime, I won't take nothing away from him, but these kids better realize Prime produced on the field. Thank you. And invented himself and the market. Facts. And he backed it up, right? If you talk a big game, you better be able to back up the game. But you can't be talking before you even provide the game. If you lit it up in preseason, you got it. But that last time that you were on the field, it didn't look good. And a lot of the things that they said you weren't good at in collegiately was showing up on that field on that preseason day. Granted, every guy that was blocking for you is probably not even on a roster right now, but still. So here we are. So Gabriel is now going to get the start. My man Shedeur still remains as QB3. They won't put him on the practice squad because they know somebody's going to stash him and snatch him up. So they have him on the roster as QB3. It is what it is at this point. But he's got to be better. His dad's got to be calling me like, yo, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You should know better. You should know better. No common sense. It's crazy to me. Anyway, if there are any comments questions that you guys may have, this is your chance to do it right now before I get out of here. Jump in because this is the time. So let me just scroll on up to see if anybody had anything that would be interesting to kind of bring up and have conversation. If not, I'm gonna get out of here. This was supposed to be a half-hour show, and we're past an hour. I told my wife it was gonna be 30 minutes, and I'm out of here. She's like, okay, here I am, still going at it. All right. If there's any comments, questions, concerns, jump in there. This is your chance for me to read your comments or questions, and we'll go from there. My man Richie Fresh is like, hey man, I got the Bills 41-24 against the Pats. I don't like doing predictions because it never ends up. I just want a good game. I want a good product put on the field. That's all I want. That's all I need is a great product put on the field. So we'll see how that all shakes out at the end. My man Richie said, yo, famous Jameis makes the most sense for the Orange Kitties. I mean, yo, could you imagine Jameis Winston with T. Higgins and the whole Bengals squad, bro? He would be great with that. I mean, the Giants would be like, yo, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. So we'll see where that comes in, man. My man Jeff says, as always, thank you for your time. Very much appreciate it. Yo, Jeff King, you're my guy, man. You know that. That ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change whatsoever. Videsh says, yo, have the Bills ever had a whiteout game? I can't recall the Bills ever having a whiteout game. I mean, you usually see it from the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know what I mean, when they're the towels and they're all yellow or all black. But this whiteout game should be ill. So if they go out and everyone actually respects and wears white, which I think they will, that stadium is going to be looking like OKC from the NBA. OKC respects it. I know NBA teams that put the T-shirt on the stands and allow everybody to, jump in there, and nobody will put the T-shirt on. They'll just take it home, but they won't put it on to kind of make the ambiance a lot better for the game. So will everyone wear white? No, but I hope a good 85% of the stands is white. That'd be super dope. My man Kyle Tom says, yo, hopefully Milano comes back and makes a difference. We need our TB and Milano duo together after Drake. Yo, this Pats game, I'm going to share more on Friday because I think I might just be me solo because my man Z-Bot's going to be in LA doing LA things. So he might not be back in time. So it might just be you and I. If it's just you and I might have a special guest join me on Friday's show. So stay tuned. I always got something up my sleeve, man. I'm never without. I always got something up my sleeve. So we'll see how it all plays out. My girl Laura says, yo, the whiteout would be dope. It will be dope. I'm looking forward to it. The rivalries game is going to be sick. And on top of that, you got to take care of the Patriots. You have to take care of the Patriots. There's no questions asked. You got to do it. We got to do it. Brock Campbell, Coleman jersey just showed up today. Ooh, 38-16. I'll take that. Brock Campbell, if you're going to the game, you better rock that jersey, bro. Rock that jersey. All right, that's my time, folks. Appreciate you. You guys have been great. You guys have been fantastic. And we will catch you guys again on Friday, whether it's me and Z-Bot if he's back in time, or I'll be reaching out to a special guest so they can come and join me. I think you guys will enjoy the special guest if they end up coming through and hanging out with your boy. My girl Laura comes in. She goes, yo, Rico, so many are worried we are overusing Cook. What do you say? What do I say? Keep using that, brother, man. Keep using him. That's the point in the NFL, bro. Like, you can't sit here and preserve your running back. No. Use them and drive them into the ground because that's why these guys ask for all the money that they want. If I'm asking you to pay me $15 million, is because I know that I'm worth it. And if you need to use me as often as you want to, I'm good for it. Because the shelf life for running backs isn't the greatest. So if I'm a GM, I'm using these running backs and drive them right to the ground. I'm paying for it, so I might as well use it. What have you ever paid for where you're trying to preserve it? Bro, if you're paying for it, you use it. You don't go and buy yourself a beautiful home, but you're hardly in the house because you don't want to do this. I used to be so mad at my mom. My mom would, like, I don't know about y'all, but if you go up in a Caribbean black household, maybe some Hispanics are like this as well, and maybe some white folks are like this, but we always had that room where it was only for the guests. And that room, you never sat in it. Sometimes You know what I'm saying? I think my parent, my folks, my mom grew out of that, but the plastic over the couch, all that good stuff, you don't go in that room to the point where that thing would collect dust, right? We didn't have guests come over all the time, first of all. So why can't we go in that room? So why we have this room and we can't use it? Well, that's great furniture. And we can't even sit on the furniture? Bro, you tripping. So that's how I feel don't use James Cook too much. Bro, use that brother, man. You paid him, you use him. That's why you paid him. 3 years from now, if he's still good for it, maybe we bring you back. But by that time, we would have used your ass up real good, and then away you go. And then I'm now bringing on to the next batch. That's just the nature of the game. So this preserving, try not to use him as much. No, we need him now because this window that we are in, it's not a large window. Josh is only getting older. We're only going to be with these certain players on the certain team right now in the moment. By next year, the O-line might change a little bit. By next year, the receiver room might change a little bit. So you want to take care of business right now. So preserve him. Don't give him too many touches. No, give him the touches. You see the Chargers worried about giving up touches to Omarion Hampton? Hell no. That boy touching the ball in the backfield. He's touching the ball upfield with catching a football. Bro, they're using that brother. So James Cook, you will be used. James Cook, you will run that football. And if you don't use it, you lose it. It's just what it is, man. So you got to use the players that you got, especially in this short window that we have. This window, it only stays open for so long until it's not. So if you have the pieces to go ahead and handle business, handle business. None of this whole, let's not give him the touches. No, give him the touches. Give him the touches. Anyways, I appreciate that question. My girl Laura always coming through with a great question. If you pay a hooker, do you sit there and talk to her? I mean, listen, some folks just want the company. I don't want to touch you. I just want to talk. She's like, really? Okay, just put the money in just Zelle me the money or PayPal me this, and we could talk all night. What you want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are men that are out there that are like that. I just want to talk. You know what I'm saying? But you don't pay all that money just to talk. I'm just saying. Jeff King is always a real one. He ain't lying. you ain't trying to talk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the real comes in. Ray Davis has been looking like trash this year. I wouldn't call it trash. I just feel like he hasn't put in the best opportunities, but he's not taking full advantage of the opportunities either. So it's just one of those things where he just has to catch lightning in the bottle, man. He just has to get a good run, a good run fit, and hit the hole. Because right now, what I've been noticing is too many choppy feet. Too many choppy feet. Choppy feet, you're done. You're done in the backfield, man. That means you're indecisive. You're indecisive. You got to one cut and find what you need. You see what James Cook is doing. James Cook, the holes are opening nice and wide for this brother. But B, he's anticipatory. He's seeing angles. He's seeing guys coming from left and right. He's slipping and getting skinny and getting to the holes. So that's what's happening. When it comes to, you know what I mean, Ray Davis or Ty Johnson, I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot from either one of them, but it's because the majority of the touches have been going to James Cook. And I like it that way because it's working. So don't break what's not broken. Don't fix what's not broken. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, that's my time. I appreciate my guy, Jeff King, always bringing in some humor, and he's absolutely right. You don't purchase, a lady of the night. You don't purchase a lady of the night, to talk daytime conversation. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to talk daytime conversation. We trying to go night. You know what I'm saying? I paid for this, we go night. But some folks just they're not built for that. They're not built for that. Well, the Bills are, and they're gonna use every way they can use James Cook. They're gonna use that brother up, and then we'll go from there. All right, folks, that's my time. I gotta get out of here. I appreciate you guys very much. So I see the comments are coming in. So part of me I feel like I need to read these things, man. James reminds me of Le'Veon Bell in his prime. I'm a big fan of Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is one of my favorite running backs to watch. It's just his patience is a work of art. He even admits it. I don't run full speed ever. I never ran full speed unless I really needed to. It's about the vision and anticipating where he needs to be. And then when I see a crease, I'm out of there. So he gives me a lot of Le'Veon Bell. So you're not wrong with that, Kyle Thompson. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Richard Fest says, yo, Cook's starting to remind me of a skinnier Henry minus the fumbles. Ooh, I wouldn't go that far, man. They certainly ain't the same. They certainly ain't the same. That's for sure. All right. Thanks, Rico. Lady of the Night. That's hilarious. You ever heard it? That's what they call them. Back in the day, they never used to call them like a straight up. All right. They'd say a Lady of the Night is what they would refer to them as. So that's it for me, folks. I'm for real. I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys always. Before you get out of here, smash that like. If you guys have not joined as a YouTube member, do me a favor. It helps us out. It allows us to obviously, you know what I'm saying, fund some of the things that we do. If we have to take a trip somewhere, if we have to purchase certain equipment, if something breaks down, if my camera, I'm going to need a new camera soon. So I got to invest in that. So these things do help. And obviously your support, it means a lot to us. So keep that up. If you have not joined the Discord chat, go ahead and join the Discord server. We're chatting up in there. And this is where we kind of, you know what I mean? We start to have personal conversations of things that take place around the league and with the Buffalo Bills. That being said, everything will be in the description in the chat. So you guys already know what time it is. So you guys have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will catch you guys on the flip. And until next time, it's your boy. You guys have a great one. We'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace. Out.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.